and I'm just blessed, grateful, thankful, and hopefully I'm joined soon by Doug. We're doing something a little bit different. We want to do a live Q&A, so nothing's off limits right now. I know that it's pretty hard to get me engaged in an argument because I really don't see a point, but at the same time, I really don't mind mixing it up. But I think we have a lot of substantive topics of conversation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's on Doug's mind. While we're waiting on him, I'm going to go ahead and see what's popping on themodernblackman.com. See what is new. Former NFL player urinates on a plane. He's urinating on passengers. And we're going to investigate. Oh, waiting on Doug. Let's see if this link is any good. Looks like it's loading. This one looks to be written in August of 2024. Truthfully.com shows Gosder Shirless, who's in legal trouble for things that happened on a flight. I guess he wanted to pee on somebody on a Delta flight while going from Boston to Dublin. I really can't wait to hear Doug's perspective on that.
What's up, bro?
What's good, man?
Man, I'm sorry if I took too long to get in. I was trying to do. I was really debating on my I forget what it's called. The little thing that's under my name, my tagline.
Your subtitle, your headline.
Yeah. I was going back and forth with it.
It's all good. I was talking about an NFL player that was arrested for disorderly conduct last August on a flight from Boston to Dublin. Gosder Shirless was arrested for disorderly conduct because he urinated on a senior citizen. But I could share that another time.
Did he get arrested?
Yeah, he got arrested last year, man.
Well, good. As long as he got arrested, that's what's supposed to happen. Hell, he's supposed to go to jail for that.
You know what? You're the perfect person to talk to about this. This is a perfect segue. Do you know who I've gotten into? Like, I consistently watch their content every day, and it's not as simple as me agreeing with them, but you're never going to guess who's my favorite watch online now.
Online? On YouTube?
I don't think I don't see him on YouTube as much as social media. He's a conservative.
I don't have the slightest clue because I'm never on social media, so I don't know.
Do you know who Charlie Kirk is?
Oh well, yeah. I love Charlie.
Man, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts that I'm not going to share right now. But I'm really enjoying his content because he's an amazing debater. I don't necessarily have to agree with all his positions or the things that he says, but he has the understanding of sound argumentation, and I respect that.
Right. Yeah, I dig the same thing about him because even though I don't necessarily, well, I take that back. I agree with his stance on college education. Like I agree with him and with the idea that it's not necessary. But
it makes people mad.
It makes people mad.
It makes people so angry, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like everyone can't think because he says the things that he says, and it's like, yo, like I'm not even on his side, but he's right. Like it's crazy. It's like watching a young Hitler. It doesn't matter what he's saying. dude is right. Like his logic is sound, and you're gonna have to just accept that and stop being emotional about it. So he's lethal, yo. Like he's
Yeah.
killing cats right now.
Yeah, I dig it, man. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that he's a professing Christian. I love the fact that
Yeah,
um, he's 10 toes down about his beliefs. Like, I mean, no matter what we're talking about, no matter what he's discussing, he's not gonna let anything but the truth change his perspective.
he's very. I don't know if enigmatic is actually the right word, but he's so interesting because on a personal level, on a spiritual level, I could not agree with him more. On a
Right.
persona level, a personality level, I don't know if he's my best friend, but the kid is smart. And I mean, he embarrasses people because we live in a time where a lot of our logic and our culture has absolutely been hijacked. And he exposes that because, like I said, no one's going to agree with Hitler. But if Hitler was articulate and right, it would be him.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. I mean,
I saw him destroy a black kid talking about DEI because the black kid's argument was whack. He didn't know how to defend the position right. And all you do is get mad at this kid's personality and watching him go at trannies. It's not like he's even being hateful. It's that he's being logical, and it exposes that has been taken from everyone.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no good standpoint for stupidity. So, I mean, when it comes to stuff like DEI or anything of that nature, I mean, it's really hard to defend something that don't make sense unless you're talking to somebody that is just, I mean, a victim at heart.
Somebody trying to make sense out of nonsense, and you can't do it.
Right.
And that's why it's like watching this kid, he makes himself look as if he is a wealth of information, a beacon of wisdom, and it's because he's pulling from that pot. It doesn't matter about him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's pulling out the righteousness. He's pulling out those positions. So
yeah. I've seen him debate so many people. I really wish he would spend more time trying to get in spaces with people that have a following. And the only reason is because a lot of these people don't deserve to have a following. Like your best friend,
who that?
Omar, Elon,
Dr. Umar?
That clown, that fool. Yeah, I would love to. I would love for Kirk to just dismantle this dude's every thought process just in front of a bunch of people, right? Like I wouldn't want it to happen. Let's say by video or online. I would love for it to happen in an open forum with rules. Right, like just to put him on the spot and make him actually say the things that he says, right? I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name. Man, it'll come to me, but it's this one guy that I pay a lot of attention to, and then it's terrifying that I can't think of his name right now. But he's a biblical historian, right? And he goes on to some platform to not necessarily debate this one black guy that just be spewing out a bunch of just random dumb mess, right? Like, and he was just like, as he was talking, he was just like dismantling everything he said, like right then and there. And like the dude couldn't even, he couldn't even like argue back, because it's like, dang man, what do you say when the person that you're talking to actually knows what he's talking about, right? So I would love to see him debate those two debate just because I know Kirk knows what he's talking about, and I
Yeah.
know that Omar, man, the guy is it's all emotion. Nothing he ever says sounds.
Uh,
This is,
maybe.
huh?
Maybe. I like Dr. Umar and Charlie Kirk would be an amazing watch because they are very similar, but I don't know who I would really call before the debate. But that would be really interesting to watch because Umar makes good points, but it's based in something. And I think that Kirk could make all kinds of arguments to undermine it. But at the end of the day, I do have faith that Umar could pull a victory out. That would be interesting.
No, the only reason I know he can't is because what you were about to say was true. Like it's based in something, and
Yeah.
it's usually based in racism. You know what I mean,
Okay.
he's an astute racist. So, I mean, to deal with somebody that's smart and Christian is going to be really hard for him to. I think it'd be really hard for him to maintain a decorum. Eventually, he's going to get really emotional and start yelling, and he wouldn't be able to. I don't think he would be able to smartly handle himself against somebody like Kurt.
I
Like me,
love watching that kid debate because that's one of his always his primary attack. He's like, "Wow, you're really emotional." Like he
yeah.
just he
Like,
stabs him in the
you seem
heart.
upset.
Yeah. He's like, "Why are you so upset? Calm down." That's always part of his attack, but he brings that out of people. It's something about his personality that draws that. So I would love to see that debate. Definitely.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just like certain things, certain standpoints, or I should say certain topics, that I know for a fact that Omar, and I don't know why the reason I'm gonna just keep calling him Omar because I don't understand how he can have a doctor tag. Like,
No,
I,
he went to a PWI, and he's a doctor. He's got his PhD.
yeah, but
He's
do you see
educated. That don't mean
but
nothing.
do you see why Kurt can say that the whole idea of a university makes is kind of irrelevant in
He's
these
right,
spheres
but he's
because I
right
mean
though.
because he's never right. And are you talking about Kirk? Or you talking about Omar? Like I've never heard him
Dr.
say
Umar has
anything.
points that he makes, but Charlie
Mhm.
Kirk, like I'm talking about how profound of a figure he is. The
Oh,
kid is right. It just causes people to be emotional, and I don't really understand that. I get that he's white. I get that he's conservative. I get all these things, but he's not missing. Like he's dead accurate. But what does that mean? Nothing. Dr. Umar could go heads up with them and he could defeat him on some level. I don't know what that is.
man, I think you sound more like a fan than somebody
Well, it's
that.
because Dr. Umar, he does have some facts on his side and he does understand psychology, but he has a lot of vitriolic rhetoric. Just like I think Kirk's stuff can be made sensationalized as well. Because let's get to the heart of it. Why I find him so interesting. It's not that I disagree with him. It's the fact that he's using facts. He goes at people about abortion, DEI. He talks about white privilege and black privilege. It's how he's framing his argument. It's not that he's superior. It's that he's just using basic logic, and it upsets people because we live in a time where people attach to their tribe and to emotional positions. Like, I'm sorry, I don't agree with abortion, right? But I understand abortion is a real world implication. And I think that somebody like Kirk really makes it interesting because it's not about him, it's about God. And we shouldn't be using condoms. We shouldn't be using birth control. We shouldn't be having abortions. We shouldn't have plan B. We shouldn't have sex. Like, he's right. It's
He's
not that the
right.
kid
He's
is
absolutely right.
superior.
Yeah, yeah. He's
And
absolutely
you
right.
go to, and then you go to Dr. Umar, he's right too about a lot of things. And then he has that,
But how could he be if everything is the white man's fault?
but it's he makes really good logical arguments.
Because you've never heard him say anything like to the point that that black people need to take accountability for themselves.
There you go. But Charlie Kirk has said that, and that caught my ear, and it upset me because I'm human like anybody else, and I don't know how this white man can come about making so much damn sense. That's what Umar is here for. You feel me? Like Dr. Umar says some things that are thought-provoking, true, righteous, and more. It's just that there's a little bit of personality on both sides.
I'm going to challenge you to convince me of one argument that he's ever made that was thought-provoking and true.
I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that because I know you. It's cool. It's cool.
That's my challenge for my best friend in the world is to convince me that this man has ever said anything of note.
Can't do it. I don't think I could do it. I don't think that's realistic.
Like not even that's true. Like not even that the sky is blue. I just said anything of note.
I mean, he does make some really good and really powerful arguments, but I really can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, I bet you can't.
but you know what? He does have a legitimate PhD, and I like a lot of accountability that he puts on our shoulders as men. Accountability he brings to our attention as a community. And he does say things that are thought-provoking. He talks about how we have preferences in our society and how hurtful these preferences are. Again, his extremism really drives home the point of why, or I'm sorry, what you would say. It's counterintuitive to his arguments in a pragmatic setting. I'm talking about Dr. Umar. I'm saying that I like his presentation, but he's not getting logic like Kirk. And it's not like Kirk is superior, better. It's just that the logic checks out, yo. Like, he's not lying.
I don't want to get into an argument of who's smarter between the two. I think that's irrelevant. I just think that if I was forced to put somebody in the driver's seat of conversation in this country between those two young men, I would definitely have to go with Kirk.
Honestly, I try to figure out a way to make him our spokesman. I think that would be provocative, and that would help Kirk out so people wouldn't identify him as much of a racist. But I definitely see how that sets people off, the things he says. And then I saw him do a beautiful debate against a black gal. He was talking about how hip hop music, I don't agree with this, but he's killing the logic. He's talking about how detrimental hip hop music is, how violent it is, how counterintuitive it is, how destructive it is in our community. Oh man, he's right, but I'm still going to bang some Future. I'm still going to listen to hip hop music, but that doesn't take away from his arguments. People don't know how to accept truth and logic. It's very interesting to me, actually, especially in an educational setting. Like, how are we making it as a species when we can't acknowledge structural truth? Scary.
Yeah. I only think I would push back with him just a little bit, right? Like I would be with the mindset of me growing up. I've listened to rap quite the majority of my life up until maybe the last 10 years. But it never provoked me to want to go rob anybody or kill anybody. Right. So, I think it's on an individual basis. However, when you glorify anything, it'll make a child think that it's okay to glorify it too. So, if I'm sitting here talking about, selling drugs, but when I look at you, you don't look like you sell drugs. You look like a successful person with a bunch of clothes on that I wish I could wear. And I'm impressionable and I'm only, 12, 13 years old. I mean, everything that I see, I want, right? So, I have to kind of, I guess, assume that if I do what I hear you saying in your music, then I might be able to pull this off, right? So, I mean, I guess it can work either way depending on how you look at it. But then it matters. I think when it comes to what we're talking about right now is how I look at Muslims, right? I think there's like two or three different types of Muslims. Yeah, three types. Okay, so you have that 12-year-old young impressionable one that he doesn't know his left from his right, so he's easy to get on the ship. And then you got the one that's our age that we went to work with when we was in like on the East Coast, you know what I mean? Because it seemed like the majority of men on the East Coast, I mean, find their way to Islam some way somehow.
Right.
But they're in their 30s and their 40s, and you're looking at them like you're a complete fool, right? Like I honestly feel like you don't want to know truth, so you'll live with this. And then you have the snake oil salesman, or the guy that's at the top of the pyramid, which is telling you how to make the 12-year-old listen, right? So I mean, I think it's the same thing with rap. I think it's the same thing with just about anything that you're trying to sell, right? I think so that's my my thought on it. But I think it takes an impressionable person to fall into those types of traps, because you're not going to get somebody that thinks for themselves to fall in those traps.
Right. I mean, to go with that allegory in Islam, majority are Sunni, and then there's Shia, and then there's everything else. Whether you consider that the nation or not, it's still family. And Abrahamic religions are all about family, and it is a line. Um, so, with that being
What do you
said,
mean when you say Abrahamic religions? What do you mean when you say that?
I mean that it is familiar going all the way back to Abraham. I think that Isaac, Ishmael, I think that that is real, and that's what I, believe in spiritually.
Well, I mean, that's not a spiritual thing. It's a physical thing. So
Okay.
that's why I asked, what do you mean when you say it? So I mean, because I would agree to an extent that a person can come up with the words Abrahamic. I
Mhm.
push back really hard when they say Mosaic. Like they both can't be Mosaic, right? But
Right.
if you're going to say lineage wise, I would say lineage wise, yes. There, the faith itself, no, I don't see how it can be an Abrahamic faith. I think it can be an
Mhm.
Abrahamic lineage in
I
reference
am
to.
talking genealogy, right? Like, yes,
Does that make sense? What
lineage.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because like if you look biblically, everything what you're saying is absolutely true. Because God did tell uh, Hagar that, or tell Abraham that he would bless a huge nation through Ishmael. So I can see how people would come to that conclusion when it comes to the lineage portion, but when it comes to the faith portion, well, that's where you would have to convince me that that Ishmael had any knowledge of this religion coming out of his lineage, right?
Well,
Because
that's where the Sunni and Shia thing comes up because, with my loose understanding, Sunnis believe that Muhammad was the descendant, and Shia believe it was someone else. And essentially, one's a son-in-law, one's a cousin, or something like that. And yes, that's where we get lost. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I
I
mean,
get what you
missing the
mean.
forest for the trees. But just like we agree, genealogically, as far as lineage or physically, you can't deny the
No,
line.
no,
Yeah,
there's no reason to.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no reason to deny obvious truths. That's what I'm saying. That
But
the one.
Charlie Kirk, it's Charlie Kirk. Like, just because he's a white man saying things that our community doesn't agree with, it doesn't dismiss what he's saying as being true. We, as a community, as a people, we need to stand in righteousness. We need to understand truth, and we need to stop diluting our lives and our positions with lies.
Mm, that's
That's just how I
interesting.
feel about it. Because I
Yeah.
mean,
So I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, no. I'm up. You feel me? Like, I'm really dedicated to us making better decisions, us taking accountability for our decisions, and getting credit for our successes. I think that I've experienced life in a lot of different positions. And just like we talking about the juxtaposition from the East Coast to the West or anywhere else, it's different. Culture is different, and so is society. That's all.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, man. If you don't mind, I want to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the word responsibility, the word accountability. And I just happen to be looking at.
What you looking at?
My bad. Literally dropped my phone. Give me 2 seconds. Let me.
Yeah. Take your time, man. Take your time. We want to do a live Q&A. So, I mean, if anybody has questions, if anybody is ready to be a part of that, that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad, brother. Yeah, I literally dropped my phone. I was trying to walk back in the gate, but yeah, I was just reading an article about several states that have pretty much made it their business to limit what people that are on EBT and SNAP, what they're able to buy with those cards and with that money, and then in many cases, I should say, if I'm just being honest, I would say in most cases, the many people that's going to lose those benefits, right, and the why. And I don't like to pinpoint any specific ethnicity when I'm talking about this, because I know for a fact they're everybody's on it, right? Every type of person is on it. So I want to preference what we're about to talk about by telling all people that look like you and I, don't take this personally. This is not just about us, okay?
Yeah.
This is about each and every type of person that happens to be on SNAP and EBT, right? Now that I've said that, because I don't believe in qualifying what I'm going to say, I'm just going to tell you what I'm talking about ahead of time. Bottom line, now I'm just going to give you my standpoint so you don't have to wonder what I'm thinking. I think of it from a taxpayer standpoint, and I think of it from a parental standpoint, right? From a taxpayer standpoint, I really have an issue with someone being on EBT and they have an ability, an able body to work, right? I also can't understand for the life of me why, when I looked at this article, soda was the most purchased item ever on EBT. I can't.
Though. It's expensive for no reason. That's why it's expensive. You ever think about that?
What's
it's
that?
Sugar water.
Yeah, sugar water. Yeah,
it's expensive because you can buy it from EBT. All the unhealthy food is expensive because that's what people gravitate towards. It's crazy. Yeah. That's basic economic principle in this country.
Let me say, just in case y'all was wondering what that sound was, I live on an Air Force base, and for whatever reason, these people decide to fly their jets when people get off work, when they're ready to go to bed. Now they want to decide to go out there and get their flight hours, but I digress. Yeah, I mean, I have an issue with it. I don't understand it, right? I got 2 kids of my own. I got a wife that I got to take care of as well, right? Now,
and you got a dog and a cat.
I got a dog and 2 cats. Dang, right? So what I'm thinking is that everything I just said can't be the excuse for why I should be on EBT or SNAP, right? The only reason that can come into play is if I can't physically take care of the individuals I just listed, right?
Right.
So, and then the why. Why can't you? Why can't you? Right. And I like to utilize things that I've seen with my own two eyes. So, someone that, let's say, has a ailment that they can't control, a disease that they can't get past. I'm not talking about them, right? I'm put them to the side because they absolutely do need this benefit, right? Because they can't work, right? They can't.
Right.
If you cannot work, not to say you don't want to, you're not good at it, you don't know how, you cannot. Like, it's just a bad move professionally for the person to hire you, let alone for you to apply. Right. So I'm not talking about these people that have ailments. I'm talking about individuals that just don't want to.
Yeah.
Right. They got
able-bodied young men that
yeah,
want to play video games and
they got good at
avoid
it.
responsibility, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching YouTubes like all day. Just people that just have no problem, saying with a straight face that why should I have to work? Why should I have to use up my time to work just so I can use Snap? Like, are you hearing yourself?
That's what the same thing is. Charlie Kirk be breaking people down when they say, "Well, you got to call me what I feel I am today because that's who I am." And I respect people that might have like a what is it, gender dysmorphia? Like I have to respect you because you're a person, but I don't think that honors God at the same time. I can think both of those things. And I don't necessarily have to judge you. I have to judge myself. I have to hold myself to a standard and be accountable to that, like you talking about, because you telling me that you tapped out on working and you don't want to work, that's your baggage, and I don't agree with it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if let's just say, hypothetically speaking, everybody that does have a job right now just decided today, I'm not paying any more taxes, and you're not going to do anything about it. I'm not paying any more taxes. If that happened, there's no way EBT and SNAP can be a thing, right? Because both of these things are paid for through taxpayer dollars.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I, like I said, am thinking of it from a parental standpoint, when I look at the average person that's on EBT and SNAP, they're fat, bro. And I mean, they're big. they're
no, it's because you don't eat healthy food, and then you want to use the benefit, and then the junk food that they give you that they've already inflated the price of, because this economic system is a racist system, Dr. Umar.
Well, check this out. No.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got to further the point, what does that mean? I think the number was, I think the number was 70% of people that are on EBT are also on Medicare or Medi-Cal, whatever. Yeah. So if that's the case, that means they're double dipping into the tax dollars, right? So I mean, if you double dipping, I of course I now care about your health, don't I?
No, you do, because it costs you.
Like, well, not even that. Like, let's just say I'm just being a good person, right? If I care about your health, I don't want to subsidize you having heart troubles.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I mean, if I'm looking at it from a parental standpoint, not from a taxpayer standpoint, I'm just looking at how I'm spending my money at the grocery store, because I'm spending my money at the grocery store.
Right.
I don't have to be there. I mean, my wife goes to the grocery store all the time, but I mean, the stuff in the refrigerator still belongs to me. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so that means that every person at work that currently shops EBT, their food was bought by the people that are paying into their paying taxes, right?
Correct.
So if that means that the food that belongs in that refrigerator should be something I believe that you should be eating. Yes, that means that fruit and vegetables and meat should be what you should be probably looking for, and some bread. I don't understand why. I mean, and the funny part about it, when I think about, like in the past, I mean, me and my wife would have been married 20 years in February, right? So think about this. Before I met her, every aisle was up for was a I'm going through every aisle,
Yeah.
right? Maybe 2-3 years into our us being married and living together, because we've been in the military, so there was a time when we weren't actually living together but still married. But when we started living together and we started going to the grocery store, I noticed there was plenty of aisles that we just stopped going through. Why? Because it's not safe to her.
Right.
Ergo, when she becomes a parent, it's really not safe to her. Like now she's thinking from a parental standpoint. She's being protective of those that are under her house. I mean, under her roof. You know what I'm saying? So
She shops the perimeter of the store because everything inside is trash.
right. So if she's setting parameters for the people that's in her house, why wouldn't I set parameters for the people that's using my money?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying. So I mean, it doesn't. It's what I hate about. Okay, now I'm talking to us guys. What I hate about what we do is we try to make it personal and try to make it a racial thing. Like we're the only people that use EBT. We're the only one that use SNAP. No, we're just the only ones that have allowed the government to
own us.
And I mean, and I say this, I mean, in a big number, right? So if I'm talking like, I don't know the number of women right now that have 2 or 3 kids, but they don't have a man at home because of the fact that they are on EBT, right? Are they out there? They out there becoming human farms, and their whole life, all they're doing is just making babies so that they can continue this process and get more and more and more. But you got to. I would think a person would come to the understanding that at some point, all gravy chains come to an end.
Yeah,
all of them do. I don't see any reason why thinking that this is supposed to last forever. Like I mean, and what really bothers me is when you're signing up for these things, they tell you that this is supposed to be a temporary thing, right?
Like you know from experience with those mothers, with these people, when they see the light, Black women are exceptional at forgetting their dysfunction. This isn't like a shot either. This is just when our women understand the way, when they get right, whatever it is, it's not like in other cultures. The way that we run with it, it's unparalleled. So I mean, that's why I want truth to always shine through. That's why I want logic to be the center of everything, because sisters do it different.
Yeah, and I mean, I just don't understand why a person doesn't mind getting fat, bro. Like I'm
sweet stuff.
I'm 40 years old, yo, and I still find myself trying to find a gym, as often as possible. Why? Mm-hmm. Because I want to live as long as possible, right? If you sitting there, if you hear my voice, if you got 2 or 3 kids, and you're not trying to find a way to continue living, shame on you. Like, shame on you. Like, I mean, I overheard. I was watching some YouTube, and it was showing some TikToks of females out in out there literally saying that if Trump is taking away my EBT, the crime rate's gonna go up. Like, are you serious? Like, why?
What they think. and why do Black women resent fitness? I guess in the traditional white woman sense, because only white women can be fit now. I need Charlie Kirk. Like, I don't understand, like, for real. I don't understand why our health and priorities at large are not mainstream, because you can see in other cultures it's common sense. Keeping your heart healthy, cardiovascular, making sure that you eat a balanced diet of not processed or whole foods. It's like there's 2 realities, because on the other side, people want to have seasoning, People want to use seed oils. It's flavor. It's not satisfaction. It's not nourishment. And that just makes me sad.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, bro. I don't. You wonder why certain people just can't hear reason. I
Yes.
mean, and even once they hear it, they still can't change their mind. That's what plagues me about the average person in this country. But
It
you know
sounds like you're
the
saying our culture is foolish and embraces foolism.
well, I don't know what you mean by our culture, but I would say
Black folk,
the
we want it to taste good.
mm,
We like greens. Greens are delicious. But you could put some kales in some green. You know that everything doesn't need pork. You know you can cut back on salt. You know that there could be activity. But
oh
that's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah. Oh, I
that's
see
not
what you're
our
saying.
culture. We won't embrace that because wouldn't that be the easiest transition in a generation if the taste makers became the health makers?
Mm.
That
Yeah,
is
well,
what
I
I
mean,
think
I
racism is.
think
That's neo-colonialism. And I
yeah, but
need
that's
Dr.
what
Umar.
I think that's the where me and Umar would probably part ways is that's what Kennedy is trying to do.
Mhm.
Right now he probably won't like anything Kennedy is saying because Kennedy white, right?
Right.
And that's my problem with him is he can't see past himself to
Sure.
make sense of anything. That's one thing I really don't like about the guy. It's just like he teaches people how to hate other people, right? And I still feel just like I did when I can't think of the name of the movie. I think it was Malcolm X. Remember when he was talking about how his father, I believe, used to preach about going back to Africa.
Hmm.
Now you can't at this point in time. There's no such thing as going back to Africa if you're a Black American. But hey, man, look, give it a shot. Why don't you travel, go out there and see if you really want to be African because
Yeah.
they're not gonna accept you.
They will not.
They're
They
not
will
going to
not
accept
accept
you.
you.
I just kind of feel like this is why I don't like when people call me Black, right? Like I don't like to be called a color. I like to
Right.
be called my culture, which is American. Like I'm an
Right.
American citizen. You know what I mean?
Right.
You go to China and you don't be calling people yellow,
No.
right?
But
You
that's
don't go.
because they have their culture intact. And because we are detached, we have to accept a color.
But who detached it? I didn't detach anything.
No. No.
I was born in 1984. All right. This is very telling, isn't it? Yeah, but I was born in 1984. And since then, I have never known any other life other than a life as an American. So
Right.
why can't I just be American, right? And I tell you the truth, when I was living in Italy, not once was I referred to as a Black man. Not
You're
once.
American.
I was American.
Yep.
Why? Because that's really what you are. That's really
Right.
what you are.
Right.
So to separate yourself from other people based on their color or their culture or their ethnicity is ridiculous, right? Because those are immutable differences that you can't do anything about, right? So no matter what, you're not going to get a person or you shouldn't be trying to get a person to apologize for the color of their skin because they couldn't control that, right? So that's where I it's easy for me to part ways with that guy because when I'm listening to Charlie Kirk, I don't hear what I'm not hearing is a white man talking to people. I just hear a man talking to people.
Yeah.
I don't hear him saying that why are you Black people always doing da 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 da. He does bring up
He does say
the he does bring up the what's the word I'm looking for, let's say the culture or the demographic. Like he'll break down demographics so you can because you need to see it from a personal standpoint because he knows that that's how niggas think, right?
right. I like when he says stuff like, when I hear about a air traffic controller being Black, I hope that they're qualified. And
Yeah.
I think that within earshot, people want to get offended, but they don't actually like Y'all don't believe that niggas can be this. And that's what it bothers me, because it's
Yeah.
like, yo, like we need to stop worrying about the white boy and we need to start celebrating niggas that's doing it. Like we are
Yeah.
there. We've been presidents, we've been
Exactly.
doctors, we are everything.
Exactly.
What is wrong with you?
Right.
That's what I don't
Right.
like.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like
you're absolutely
black
right.
people that don't have pride. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
That bothers me.
Yeah. You want everything to be given to you because you're black, rather than
Victimization.
yeah,
It's beyond victimization. It's just not having a mental acuity, like not having a mental acumen and letting a random white man dictate it to you because you don't know who he is. You're just mad that you don't see a certain value in him, and you're missing the words, getting lost in this rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Oh, that bothers me so bad
Yeah.
because we're there, we're doing it. We are overqualified and we are overworked. We can't even get to that conversation because of all the pitfalls of this society.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm saying so. I kind of want to save a lot of my thoughts for our next talk.
Well, let's do it, man. When we gonna get together? You got time tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. I do. But I want to kind of tell the audience exactly what's on my mind, so they can kind of, if you're smart, okay, if you're the smart type, you won't wait for me to start talking before you want to gather a standpoint on this. Okay, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to research it yourself, right? And try not to look at the news, right? I what I love most about the people we talk about, even if it's Omar, even if it is him. Fact of the matter is, he's an influencer. He's not bound to any government, or any party, or any big function that I can't see, right? He's bound by his own convictions, right? Charlie Kirk is bound by his own convictions, right? So when I listen to people reacting to something that they're seeing, I can do the same thing, right? So my favorite YouTuber, I don't even think he's just a YouTuber. I think I just watch him only on YouTube. But it's this guy. His channel is called Black Conservative Perspective, right? Can't remember his name. That's not really important. What is important is my point, and is that I can sit there and watch his channel and create my own thought process based on what he's showing me, not what he's telling me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, like if I walked outside in my backyard where I am right now, and I turn the camera around and just let you look at the grass for 45 minutes, and I talk about the grass, but you're seeing something different, you can disagree with me all you want. True?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I challenge people to do. That's what I challenge this audience that I have under the sound of my voice to do. Is
you're challenging them to hold two thoughts at one time.
You said what?
You're challenging them to either have two thoughts or defer between two thoughts at once.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Yes.
Because that's really how, I mean, growing up, that's how we had to do it. We had to actually critically think in order to create a point. We didn't have the luxury of people thinking for us. We didn't have the luxury of AI. We didn't have the luxury
a lot of times because of our color.
No, for period. I'm just talking about technology, and what technology has done to make you dumber or smarter. Right?
But I'm saying that you go back 5 decades and there's a disparity. All of the things that we talk about today, and maybe we take it for granted, we had these things organically, but there was nowhere to showcase these skills. And we actually have the raw talent and ability to not only form our arguments and to structure our thoughts, but to critically think and dissect our thoughts with the thoughts of opposition, creating a synthesis or synergy that I don't see today.
Interesting. Now you see how what he did. I can disagree with him. I kind of do. I'm not going to say why, but I just want y'all to know that. So like this is
Right.
the best part about me and him talking, guys, is there's no echo chamber here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no echo chamber. What he says or what I say in his mind, even if he's just trying to keep the conversation going and he's just nodding yes, he may not agree with anything I'm saying, and that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to. What's going to bother me is if in the comments you get emotional and you get upset because I'm talking about things that you take lightly, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't bring yourself to just understand that I don't have to agree with you, right? I mean, I love you. I do. I love you. I love
I
you.
hate doing podcasts and YouTube episodes with other people, Doug, or even watching them, because what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
something about the current culture where they have to parrot each other, and I don't understand. I was raised where that's called redundancy. If you're in agreement, what are you talking about?
What are y'all talking about? Just listen, just shut up and listen, right? Like just shut up and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, me and my brother, man, God rest his soul, man. Like growing up, he and I, like, we rarely agreed on the small parts of the big issue. Right. So me and him, of course, we agree that Christ is king. But we disagree that let's say the black race is part of the original 12 Israelite tribes. Like, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not important. Like that's not going to keep me saved. That's not going to get me any closer to the Lord. But it is, something of conversation. It is something that can, come up in conversation with people that are like-minded.
Right.
What do you think about this part? Well, shoot, quite honestly, sometimes I believe in the rapture, sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm simply saying is, I mean, you can be my brother and have a disagreement with me, and at the end of the day, I still love you because it was just a conversation.
Right.
Right. I mean, we weren't, sharpening our knives for any purpose. We were just literally just sharpening our knives for the sake of learning something new. Right. Like, I mean, you heard something that you never heard yesterday. Until today, you heard something new today. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't like what you're saying, but I respect your right to say it.
Right.
And
That's love.
That's what being American looks like, you guys. Just in case especially for and this is this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this point, because when it comes to disagreeing, actions, I totally feel that you should be able to react to, right? Like I don't think a person should be allowed to react to what somebody says, or how somebody thinks, or what somebody believes. I do believe a person should be able to react to an action, right? So for all of you that's out there burning my flag, why don't you just leave? Just leave. Just go. Because if you have the mitigated gall to benefit off of the greatest country that has ever been in existence, and then turn around and burn the flag because you disagree with anything, kill yourself. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. But hey, man, I gotta get going, man. It's time for me to go shoot some pool. So
do your thing, man. I appreciate you making time. We need to get together tomorrow. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna send you a link and we're gonna do this again.
All right, man. All right.
Peace.
All right.
Incredibly blessed, incredibly lucky. I'm thankful Doug got a little time with us. He always makes great points, and I'm just grateful that we got a little time together. Same thing with this Charlie Kirk kid. Same thing with Umar. Thoughts are what really build the world. Thoughts are what make this American experience great. Logic is what makes life such a powerful thing. I hope that after this episode, anyone listening or watching is able to visit themodernblackman.com, read the articles of information, listen to the podcast episodes. 26 is going to be a very special year. 2025 was a very special year. 2025 was a year I'll never forget. I hope that this is a year that remains special to me. I have been able to enjoy leisure unlike any other time in my life, my adult life. I have not had the comfort or the recovery that I've had in this season. I was down for the count. I really had a catastrophic injury, and just a couple years ago, I thought I was going to die, but I decided to fight. I survived 23, and I dedicated myself in 2024 to getting to a better place as far as my health, my fitness, and we're really getting there. The revenue or the lucrative nature of things like YouTube are definitely markers of encouragement, because our messages are powerful messages, and I think that they're very valid messages. There is an audience that not only appreciates this information, but an audience that utilizes the wisdom that we are able to provide on our platforms. I have taken it even a step further in dismantling social media accounts that I've had for, I want to say 20 years. If we look at Twitter, certainly 20 years if we look at Facebook. Instagram is one that is a little bit more recent, but I think I've got at least 15 or 14 on those platforms. They're gone. They are completely out of the mix, and we are planting our flag firmly in our new territory of YouTube. We're going to die on this hill. YouTube is our chosen platform and our chosen audience. The YouTubers and the YouTube audience are current, and we want to be amongst Americans that are not just like-minded, but also forward-thinking, because that is what will save us as a society, all people, is visions of a future. And the world that I see in the future is not just peaceful, but productive. It's not just a dumping ground for like-mindedness and redundancy. I really see tomorrow as being progressive. I really see people doing the things that they dream of doing, reaching new heights and connecting in new ways. And being at the forefront of this means more to me than anything. So thank you. I am incredibly grateful and humble. All praise be to God. Now grow with us. If this episode rang true to you in any ways, or you found information that could be valuable in your life or your experience, please like and subscribe. And until the next episode, peace.